Hey guys, I just woke up from a baller ass nap. How long has it been? Oh. Well, anyway, I clearly missed a lot. I'm just here to see what's up with my favorite little card game. Let me see here. Oh. Oh. Oh no. Okay, well, we're screwed. The same company that's done all of this now has control over the commander ban list. Hip hip fuck! All jokes aside, I watched the whole weekly MTG on the future of Commander, and honestly, they do seem to care about Commander, and it seems like they were truly just kind of thrown into this situation. But I still just can't shake the feeling that Wizards having control over the ban list means that we're going to get less bans overall, and it just gives me bad vibes. I could just be pessimistic, but I do think overall it'll probably be a net negative for the format. Not too much worse, but still not good. But enough about that. I really don't have too much of an informed opinion on that, and I won't until Wizards actually does more things involving the format. So for now, that's just a fat we'll see. What I actually want to talk about is the bans that started this whole mess. Nadu, Dockside, Jeweled Lotus, and Mana Crypt. Did they deserve to get banned? Well, I've heard a lot of opinions from people, both good and absolutely horrifically terrible. So let's break it down here, starting with the format warping Birdman himself, Nadu. I was so excited when they revealed Nadu. Not because I saw what everyone else did at first, not because of the insane value he gives, and not because I thought he was even good at all, but just because he was from Amonkhet. I love Amonkhet. And yes, it is fully biased because that's when I started playing. What of it? The theme is cool, the mechanics were cool, the story was a little bit cool, I think. And it almost never gets talked about or has cards printed from it. So when I saw a new legendary from Amonkhet, oh boy, I was hyped. However, within the next few days, people started talking about him and how he worked with equipment, and pointing out things my dyslexic brain completely ignored and misread, like how he's a 3 mana 3/4 with evasion, triggers twice per turn, and has the land's inner untapped. And the more people brewed and realized how insane he actually was, honestly, the less I cared about him. He was definitely overshadowed by splashier cards in MH3 like Eldrazi Titans, Flip Planeswalkers, and White Ragavan. But when Modern Horizons 3 released and I saw that he was getting a lot of play in Modern, and I saw exactly how he was played in Commander, my attitude on the card quickly went from nah do to nah don't. I hated that my one Amonkhet card was just so obviously busted in such an unfun way. Like, oh, I played my 3-drop. Let me play every land in my deck and draw 30 cards. Not to mention in Commander, if he was your commander, you always had access to him, and it was just another Thassa's Oracle deck. And on that note, I'm still surprised to this day that Thassa's Oracle was not banned here. It's so easy to just slot a 2-card insta-win combo into your deck, and it's probably the win condition of 95% of blue decks in CDH. And this is coming from the guy whose CDH deck has one of its win conditions being Thassa's Oracle. But yeah, anyway, Nadu being the way he is makes me immensely sad, and he clearly deserved to be banned from almost everywhere he exists. He went from the little Amonkhet underdog card to just this abomination of card design. I swear, Wizards should just not print 3-cost Simic Legendaries anymore, because they clearly just cannot do it. Nadu definitely deserved to be banned. Next up is Dockside Extortionist. The good old occasional Swindler, occasional Monkey Goblin, never reprinted Commander Legends Baldur's Gate, Dockside Extortionist. Spoiler alert, he definitely deserved to be banned. He's an auto-include in every red deck, leads to so many infinite combos, and just creating that many treasures for 2 mana is insane. Everyone should have expected this to happen eventually. Honestly, I don't really have much to talk about here. It's an obviously overpowered card that deserved to get banned, and it got banned, so that's pretty much the end of the story for that one. Now, the next two are the ones that are the most controversial, and honestly, the ones I have my main opinions on. So let's not waste any more time and just get to them. Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt. Jeweled Lotus is a very decisive. That is not the word I meant to put on my script. Jeweled Lotus is a very divisive card in my opinion. On one hand, 0 mana, get 3 mana made specifically to be strong in Commander. On the other hand, it's a completely dead draw half the time and only lives to serve one purpose. Like, my brain understands why people think this card is overpowered, and I somewhat agree with them, but, like, I kinda don't think it deserved to be banned. Like, don't get me wrong, I can see why they banned it, but I can definitely also see a world where it stayed unbanned and not much would change. People say that it makes 5, 6, 7, 8 drop commanders completely dead in the format, but, like, I get that it's a big piece in getting those commanders out in a very value-driven and sometimes fast format, but, like, if your entire commander based on whether you get a 0-drop artifact or not in your hand, your deck still isn't good. So, like, Again, I can see why they banned it. I understand it. But, like, it wasn't that bad. Mana Crypt, on the other hand, is just an insane card no matter what. A free Soul Ring that has pretty much no downside is just nutty in any format. And this is where my 3 really strong and possibly controversial opinions come into play. Number 1, all of these cards deserve to be banned. I just want to throw this in here real quickly just to, like, kind of clear things up. My opinion on Jewel Lotus is that it didn't really deserve to be banned. I mean, I understand why they did, but, like, in my opinion, it would have been fine if it wasn't banned. But objectively, I think it did deserve to be banned. The problem I have is people think Jewel Lotus shouldn't be banned because it is literally unusable anywhere else. But even so, that doesn't matter. If a card is broken or needs to be banned, it doesn't matter if it's not playable anywhere else. It's still broken and needs to be banned. Plus, not to mention, it's not useless. It literally sees play in Legacy. So as stupid as it is, it being banned in Commander doesn't mean the card is useless. 2, banning these cards hurts people too much financially. And look, I kind of get it. I had all these cards, except Nadu, and it hurts watching my $150, $200 cards go below $100, and in some cases near $30 each. But, like, womp womp, that's a risk you should be aware of when you're buying these cards. These are by far some of the best cards in the format, and they're all broken as shit. So them getting banned is a risk you gotta understand when you buy these cards. You're playing with overpowered cards. You should know that this could happen. Plus, cards from a card game in general aren't going to hold their value forever. And the idea that we can't ban certain cards because they are too expensive hurts my body on the inside every time I think about it. So coming from someone who was financially affected by this, fuck people's little cardboard money. The health of the game comes first. And number 3, the Rules Committee decisions made complete sense. They banned Nadu for being OP and not fun, and they banned Dockside, Crypt, and Lotus because they were just the best and most egregious cases of fast mana in the format. When people say that the Rules Committee wanted to just end fast mana in Commander, it's like, did you even read what they said? They want to reduce it by removing the most unfair ones from the format. Not remove it entirely, which is why Mana Vault, Soul Ring, and other similar cards are not banned. They just want to tone down the fast mana. So they reduce the amount you can have. It's really simple. And listen, I try my best to see everyone's side in situations and to take in their opinions and try to make an objective stance on the issue. But holy shit. If you think Soul Ring should be banned, or that Soul Ring is better than Mana Crypt, you really need to just never talk again in your life. Because that is the most batshit insane and wrong opinion I've ever heard in my entire existence on this planet. I don't know why it pisses me off so much. How can you say Soul Ring is better than Mana Crypt? The difference between 1 and 0 mana, especially that early on in the game, and extremely especially from Mana Rocks, is beyond words. The closest thing I can think of to explain this in another MTG example is Gitaxian Probe versus Peak. Gitaxian Probe is banned in Modern, Legacy, and Pauper, being an absolute menace in those formats when it was around, and still sees heavy play in CDH to this day. the format where almost only the top 1% of cards in MTG history see play. Comparatively, Peak costs 1 mana and is the same card, hasn't been banned anywhere, and there's a good chance you haven't even heard of this card before right now. It's really just not a good card, only because it costs 1 mana. But since Gitaxian Probe costs 0 mana effectively, because the life loss doesn't really matter, it's batshit crazy. Does that sound familiar? Plus, by the way, Peak is an instant, Probe is a sorcery, just to throw that in there. People who tell me Sol Ring is better than Mana Crypt, because even though Crypt is free, it deals damage to you, should honestly just put down all their decks, straight into a Paper Shredder, and then jump into the Paper Shredder. And if you think Sol Ring should be banned, you do not understand the identity of Commander at all. First off, most of the people saying this are the same ones mad because of how many people this ban affects. But if you ban Sol Ring, you affect literally at least 85% of Commander decks, including all but one of every single precon ever released. And I don't think banning a precon should stop you from banning a card that's a problem, but Sol Ring is not only not a problem, but it's uniquely balanced out by the fact that every single person has a Sol Ring. If you bought a precon, except you, then you have a Sol Ring. Sol Ring is probably one of the most readily available cards in Magic history outside of basic lands. Sol Ring is Commander, and vice versa. It's like making a Halloween movie without Michael Myers. Oh shit, wait, no, don't look at that one. If you were to ban Sol Ring, you fundamentally change the vibe and playstyle of the whole format, and not in a good or fun way. I personally think we should gather, because it's Magic the Gathering. I personally think we should gather all banned Sol Ringers onto a boat and just cast it adrift. Just let them float away and let the sea take them wherever they belong. So what are my overall thoughts on the bans? It sucks, but every card here makes sense to be banned. And while the Outlash at first made sense, it being taken to the point of direct hate towards the committee, death threats, and making them feel like they have to give the entire thing up to Wizards is fucking ridiculous, and the community has no one to blame but itself. And while I would say everyone who did those things should be ashamed of themselves, if they are willing to do that over some card game bans, they clearly have no shame in them left to feel. But yeah, that's about it when it comes to my feelings about the whole situation. You can kind of tell it riled me up a little bit. It's just the whole discourse that's happened over this has been very painful to see. So I'm glad I can finally just get my opinions off of my chest. I really am going to try to get back into the YouTube groove, so if I don't upload at least 2 more videos this October, then you have the right to fireball my house. This is a picture of it. This is my address, identity, credit card number, social security number, and if I don't make those uploads, you have the right to ruin my life. Okay, bye!